Happy Friday, second grade. We are going to finish our first 55 phonograms today, which I am very excited about. And we are also going to learn the third way that a vowel can say its name, and we're going to start learning about the 4 different kinds of sentences. So today is a big day. I'm really excited, and I hope you are too. Let's start by reviewing some phonograms. All right, so I'll say the sound, you write it. Draw a line below the baseline if you don't remember. After I write it, if you didn't get it, write it 3 times. And please, 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 for your own sake, show the virtue of integrity. All right, if you think that you're cheating, right, and you just wait until I write it and then you write it, the only person that you're hurting is yourself, because that means you're passing up the opportunity to help yourself remember these better. And I don't want you to do that. All right, so the first one is ed, t, past tense ending. Class, what are you going to write? Excellent, write it and say it while you write it. All right, this is our ed, t, past tense ending. All right, so if you had something different or you had nothing, please show the virtue of integrity and pause the video, write that 3 times, saying it while you write it. All right, our next one is the of bird. What are you going to write? Excellent, write it and say it while you write it. Make sure you're leaving a clock space. All right, this is our the of bird. All right, so if you didn't have that, pause the video, write it 3 times, saying it while you write it. All right, our next phonogram is oo. What are you going to write? Good, oo. Say it while you write it. All right, I know this one is a little bit tricky for us sometimes. All right, so if you didn't have that, pause the video, write it 3 times saying ooh while you write it. All right, next we're going to practice one of our teams, right? So 2 phonograms that make the same sound, but we use them at different times. So first is aw that we do use at the end of English words. Aw that we do use at the end of English words. All right, remember to leave the clock spaces. This is aw that we do use at the end of English words. All right, so if you didn't have that one, which yeah, we didn't review that the past couple of days. If you didn't have that, no problem, just cross it out, write it 3 times, saying it while you write it. All right, so we did our aw that we do use at the end of English words. What do you think? Which one do you think we're going to write next? If you said aw that we do not use at the end of English words, then you are right. So write aw that we do not use at the end of English words and say it while you write it. And if you don't remember, do a line below the baseline and then write it in on the other side of the line. All right, this is our ah that we do not use at the end of English words. Class, why don't we use this at the end of English words? Very good. English words do not end with you. All right, excellent job. Let's learn our next phonogram. Right, so this is our next one. This says ch. The whole name of this phonogram is ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, I, or a. Say that with me. Ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, I, or a. All right. So, gosh, we haven't had a three-letter phonogram in a while, but it's nice to help us remember because it has three-letter in the title. So this is our ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, I, or a. And then, of course, we always do what to show the letters go together? Good. Underline ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, I, or a. All right, so get ready to write your ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, I, or a. So write it and say it while you write it. All right. Check your ch, three-letter ch. Make sure it looks like mine. All right. And write it again. Say it while you write it. So I'll say it with you the first time. Ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, I, or a. All right, so check it, make sure that it's correct. And one more time, write it and say it while you write it. Ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, I, or a. All right, nice job, class. So yesterday we were talking about different kinds of syllables. Let's start with our closed syllable. What's at the end of a closed syllable? If you said a consonant, you are 100% correct. And in our closed syllable, which of its sounds do our vowels say? Very good. In a closed syllable, the vowel says its first sound. Now, if we want to make our vowel say its name, we can put something at the end. What can we put at the end that makes our vowel say its name? All right. Virtual high five if you said silent final E, job one, because that is 100% correct. If we put our silent final E at the end of a word, it makes the vowel say its name. And then we also talked about the other way that we know that a vowel can say its name. And that is when the vowel is at the end of a syllable. And what do we call that kind of a syllable? Very good. We call it an open syllable. And in the open syllable, our vowel usually says its what? Very good. It says its name. So we know two ways that a vowel can say its name so far. We know with our most common way is with a silent final E, job one. Our next most common way is in an open syllable. So this third way is the least common, but after we learn it, we'll know all of the ways that our vowels can say their names. And so this rule only applies to two of our vowels, and that is I and O. All right, so our rule for that is I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. All right, I know that's kind of a lot to say, so let's break it up into chunks. I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. Excellent work. Let's see that in action. All right, so our first word is find. What's our word, class? Good, find. What sounds do we hear in the word find? Excellent, it's f, I, n, d. All right, but this I is I-E. What is going to let it say its name? All right, so we know that find is just one syllable, so it can't be an open syllable because this isn't at the end of a syllable. All right, and we've got two consonants, so we don't have a silent final E that goes over two consonants, it goes over just one. So we know that it has to be our third way, which is, say it with me, I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. All right, so one more time, what are you going to write to spell the word find? Excellent, write that and say it while you write it. All right, when you've finished, put your pencil down so you can tell me what to write. Class, what do I need to write to spell find? Good. All right, so make sure your find looks like mine. Class, what let our I-E say I here? Say it with me. I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. All right, so that means, so we know that both of these, we know that N is a consonant and we know that D is a consonant. So there are two consonants after it, and that means that our I may say its name. All right, so let's go ahead and mark it. Does this need a marking? How about this? It's saying its name, right? And so anytime that our vowel says its name, we underline it. Does this need a marking? How about this? No, that doesn't either. All right, so now let's read our word. Good, it's find. Find. All right. Let's see. So we saw it with I. Now let's try it with an O word. Let's write the word sold. What's the word? Good, sold. Last year I sold my car. Sold. What sounds do we hear in the word sold? Good. Our sounds are S, O, L, D, right? But this O is A, O, U. What's going to let it say O? It's not at the end of the syllable, right? And our silent final E only goes over one consonant. So it can't be the first or second way that we learned. What's the third way that we learned? Say it with me. I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. And I know O is a consonant and I know D is a consonant. So that's how my O is going to say its name. So write the sounds in sold and say them while you write them. All right, when you're done, put your pencil down and then I know you're ready to tell me what to write. All right. So class, what do I need to write to spell sold? Good. And which O am I using? Good. A-O-U. And what lets our O say O? Say it with me. I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. All right. So which consonants follow my O? Good. O. Good. And excellent. D. All right. So make sure your sold looks like mine. All right. And let's mark it. Does this need a marking? How about this? Good. It's saying its name. We need to underline it. How about this one? All right. Let's read our word now. Good. It's sold. Sold. All right. Now, usually I write all the words going across like this, right? The reason I wrote this one below is because I wanted to point something out before we finish this lesson. Our rule for I and O is a little different, right? We say, when we were talking about open syllables, we would say it usually says its name at the end of a syllable. For our I and O rule, we said I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. It's not like silent final E job 1 where it makes the vowel say its name. This just means it could say its name. All right, so we're going to write words where I is followed by two consonants and doesn't say its name. And then we'll do that again for O. And that's going to help us remember that our rule is they may say their names. All right, so for I, let's start with the word gift. My mom sent me coffee as a gift. Gift. What sounds do we hear in the word gift? Good, the sounds are g, I, f, t. All right, so we've got two consonants after our I, but it's still saying its first sound because it's I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. So write the sounds in gift and say them while you write them. All right, now tell me what I need to write to spell gift, class. Good, good. I, t. Great, gift. So make sure yours looks like mine. Let's see. We don't have any two or more letter phonograms, and we know this is saying its first sound, so do we need to mark anything on this word? We sure don't. Let's just read it. Excellent. All right, so this is reminding us our rule is I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants, but they don't have to. All right, now let's write a word with our A-O-U where it has two consonants after it, but it's still saying its first sound. Let's write the word pond. What are we going to write, class? Good. I saw a frog jump out of the pond. What sounds do we hear in the word pond? Good. Our sounds are p, a, n, d. But this A-O-U is not saying its name, even though it has two consonants after it. All right, and that's because our rule is, say it with me, I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. All right, write the words in pond and say them while you write them. Or sorry, write the sounds in the word pond and say them while you write them. All right, class, what do I need to write to spell pond? Good. Good. All right, now we know this is saying its first sound, and everything's one letter, so there's nothing for us to mark. Let's just read it. Excellent. A, N, D. All right, so that is our third way a vowel can say its name. And the last one, so say it with me. I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. All right, great job.